everyone. Hello, everyone. I am excited to be here on tonight. I'm going to do what I always do, and that's I'm going to open up, but I'm going to do a small introduction because tonight it is not my show. Tonight I am actually in the seat, and I have a host for tonight, and it's Jasmine. So I'm going to sit back. I'm going to enjoy. I see you coming in. If you're coming in, comment. Let me know that you're here. The only thing that I will participate in on tonight is the comments. I'll put the comments up as she's speaking and as she's interviewing. But on tonight, I will be interviewed by Jasmine. I have no idea what she's going to ask me. God knows. Y'all see me sweating. But you know what? I've always been an open book. What you do not know, you will probably find out. But I think tonight's dialogue is going to be a very provocative dialogue. Those of you who know me know I love to share. I believe that sharing your testimony opens up new doors for other people to walk in. And being transparent for me is a way of life. There's no need to walk around and fake that you're this person. There's no need to walk around and act like you're this person. Be exactly who you are. Be exactly who you were created to be. And so that's just why I just believe in being transparent. And so tonight I'm going to introduce you to my host. My host is Jasmine. While I work the board, I'm going to turn it over to her. Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey. Hello, everyone. I am super excited. You ready for the smoke, sis?
Girl, I'm ready for the smoke. Come on. Put it on the floor so I can pick it up. I ain't never been scared. I'm going to pick up you putting on the floor. So you do whatever you do. I'm just over here reminding people to come in. I'm reminding people to log in, tap in, share, and all that stuff. Because guess what? We're all, if I'm not mistaken, we're also live on Facebook.
Oh.
Yeah, we're live on Facebook and we're live on YouTube. Because listen, I know y'all nosy. So we let y'all come on in. So just come on in, take a seat, okay? I don't know what's going to be asked tonight, and I don't know what's the reply going to be, but you're just going to sit down and you're going to enjoy the show, okay? You're not going to see no comments, no emails, no nothing. You're not going to gasp. You're not going to clutch your pearls. You're not going to say, oh, I didn't know. You're not even going to say, oh, I can't believe she said that. Because listen, viewer discretion is advised. Go ahead, Jay.
Okay, so I have my stuff down because this is an honor. This is really an honor because you are well connected and you know so many people and you could have got anybody to do this. So I feel like this is definitely alignment. And it's an honor wholeheartedly. So I just want to thank you, first of all, for your yes. Your yes to ministry, your yes to seeing me. You have helped me in so many ways that you don't even probably understand. I don't want to, because you know I'll cry. So I'm going to save it for the end. But I just wanted to tell you that.
Tonight we hanging out. The girls are here. Hey,
yeah,
sis.
but you know that I just can't talk about you without getting emotional because you're a big deal. I remember watching you, and I don't know if I ever even said this out loud, but I remember watching you as a young girl in Congress Park. And, you know, when you come from the hood, you don't really see too many people that you would like to model. You see a lot of people that you don't want to be like. So you were amongst the one of two women. You was a couple of years older than me. I used to be like, yes, it was the little walk, the little body. So this is just really full circle. But we about to get to the smoke.
Okay. Let's smoke. But can I reply to that?
Go ahead.
I wanted to reply to that. I am always intentional about my connections and about my relationships. Of course, I think tonight is going to be a couple of emotional moments because what you don't know is it started with your mother. It started with Leslie. Your mother was much older than me. When I would go around Congress Park, she's the only woman, full-grown woman, that would accept me. She would say things to me. She would encourage me in ways that I had never been encouraged before as a young girl. And you know, Leslie, you would see me coming from the top of Congress, and she would be screaming, "Yes, that's my girl." Then she would tell me. She told me everybody was jealous of me. She told me none of the people like me. She told me keep on wearing my clothes. So it is coming full circle. And what people don't know is that destiny leaves clues. This isn't my show, it's yours. But I just have to say this. Destiny leaves clues. And so the seeds that she planted into me, you're able to see them. If that makes sense. The seeds that she sown into me, you're able to see them. Because I was used to showing up and not being liked. The spot can be a foreign place to a lot of people if you're not from there, if you don't know nobody. She always embraced me, and she always she made it. Her love for me was not private. She was the mother that would say, "Oh, all y'all jealous of her? Y'all can't take her." Which is probably why I didn't have many friends around here, except for the ones that I went to school with, because she made that clear. All of y'all jealous of her, y'all can't take her. So it has come full circle. And you know your mother. You know I ain't lying. That was her. She was serious about that. She didn't play about me as if she was my mother.
It's just so funny because I never knew that until you told me once we got to building our relationship. So that's what makes it even like, okay. And I know my mother, she had discernment.
Your mother was a seer. She had eyes. She was the SEER. She could see if you was good, and she could see if you was not so good. I don't care what condition she was in. And she was going to deal with you based off of what she saw.
Mm-hmm.
That was her. So, I mean, I don't know what to tell y'all. Leslie loved me, but I don't know what to tell the rest of y'all.
Okay, so for those of you that may not know Yukia, or those that may even think that they know you, Yukia is a mother, a wife, an author, a special assistant to the Ward 8 Councilman of Washington, D.C., a mentor, a founder, a CEO of the Speak Well podcast, deaconess, founder of two business, Sweet Zuri, and the Farewell Agency. You also have an associate's in liberal arts, a bachelor's in political science, and a master's in public administration, and a pending PhD. Girl, when you hear all of that, and you haven't even scratched the surface, how do you feel? How does it make you feel?
My accomplishments, sometimes there's a bittersweet, because one, I'll say where I am now, I am excited that I was able to do all of those things because I wanted to show my children that you can be whatever you want to be. I also had a point to prove, and I always say this. I had a point to prove because there were people in my family and people who were around me that said I wouldn't be much of anything. And one thing I learned from my bishop is that if you get 1 degree, you could get 2. If you get 2, you could get 3. And each degree gets easier and easier. If you can get 3, you might as well go ahead and just be a doctor. But the bitter part is that there are people that I wish were here to celebrate that with me. So there's a such thing as a survivor's remorse, right? People who come from poverty, people who've lost a lot of friends to gun violence and things like that, drugs, alcohol. You realize you made it, and there's some people that did not make it. So I oftentimes think about, man, this could be really big if they could see this. And sometimes you get to a place where you don't feel as supported because you feel like that type of support has already left. Although you got your family, you got your friends who are present, but it's like, man, what if my uncle was here to see it, right? What if my grandma was able to see me get the master's degree? She knew that I was going to get a doctorate because I'm like, Grandma, I'm here, I might as well keep going. But I want to tell a story about when I started Sweet Zuri. When I started Sweet Zuri, I was in the worst season of my life. The one thing that I am is determined. Aside of everything, I am determined. I'm going to do it one way or another. Sweet Zuri was birthed out of my pain. I was pregnant with Zuri. I built Sweet Zuri Boutique from a cell phone. I built a website using a cell phone. I don't even think it was an iPhone. If it was like an iPhone 5 or something. I built the website. I learned how to capitalize off of my talent because I knew I had a talent. I knew I was gifted. I knew I could sell. I knew I had personality. I knew I could dress, and those are some of the things that women gravitated to. And I'm like, the other thing people don't know is that I've worked since I was 9 or 10 years old. That's what a lot of people don't know. How? And I'm gonna come back to your question, but I want to show people who they're sitting and watching on tonight. I've never been a beggar or a borrower, right? I might ask for something and you got it right back. But I remember being going to Washington Highland School, and these people came to the school one day. They had these catalogs. A lot of kids didn't do it. A lot of kids couldn't read. A lot of their parents didn't allow them to do it, but they came with these catalogs. Now, once you get the catalog, I had to go around to family and friends and neighbors and say, look through the catalog. Do you want to buy something? Depending on how much I sold, that's how much money they gave me. So I could sell about $500 worth of things. And here's the thing. Even when I was a young girl, the crackheads supported me. The crackheads saw in me what other people didn't see in me. So if it was them placing the order and taking their first of the month check saying, I'm going to order something, I'll pay you on the first, that's exactly what they did. Selling $500 would probably get me about $75. They would mail me a $75 check in the name of Yukia Hugie. I didn't have an ID to cash a check. My mother bought so many cigarettes from the deli up the street when I lived in Stone Lake that Miss Sue, who worked in the liquor store, would cash my check. I would give my mother $20 and the rest of that money went with me down Eastover. I've always had a job. I've always been determined to do. I've always said I'm a shop. I've always said I'm a buy. So now I'm in my era of celebrating everything that I've done. Right. And I'm always thinking about what can I do next? I'm always thinking about what's my next level, because that's not it. I want to die empty. When I die, I don't want people to see me and say, man, she died. She said she was going to do this, that, and I want to do all of that. And so when I die, you all put that in my obituary that I did do everything I said I was going to do. So it makes me proud that I've made my family proud. Because again, I really did this for them. And I did it because I had a point to prove. So I did do it for people who said she could never do it. And now we're here. So I'm looking for my next thing. I don't know what that's going to be, but the moment that it crosses my mind, we're going to start working on the next thing.
How do you find balance wearing so many different hats to still show up for people in the capacity that you do? Because you're always somewhere supporting somebody. Just yourself, self-care. How do you find balance with mom, church, wife, student, business owner? Or is there any balance?
I haven't. The scale is sometimes a little unbalanced, but now I've learned to work at my pace. Now I've learned to move at my pace. So, losing my grandmother, losing my father, I've had to take and do more for my mom. I've always been a caregiver to my mother, even when she had her husband or mother. But it's like sometimes I might call my niece and I might say, Jamis, you got to do this. So when my father left, we all took a role. Because I really had to say to them, listen, this is a lot on me. I haven't been able to grieve. I can't continue to do all this. I'm getting older. I'm in my 40s, right? I'm 45. I can't be here, there, and everywhere. There are some Sundays, Jasmine, that I miss. And that's because there are some Sundays that I need to get a little bit more rest. And I don't feel guilty about getting the extra rest. Because I can't be anything to anybody dead. I can't be anything to anybody stressed out. I can't be anything to anybody depressed. I can't be anything to anybody laid in a hospital bed with tubes in my arms. I can't be anything to anybody. So What I've learned is while I don't have a lot of balance, I prioritize what comes first. And what comes first is my family. That's going to take precedent over every single thing. And I believe that what God does, because I figured out the formula, God blesses me because I understand what goes first, what goes second. I understand that, right? So it's my family. Nothing is coming before that. It's gonna be my family, and I mean the family in my husband, my daughter, my son. It's gonna always be them, and everything else, job, all that stuff will fall in line. But what I started realizing is that I am wore out, and I wasn't able to really say that. So now I say no a lot, right? You know what motivates me? What motivates me, I'll go off balance a little bit if you're gonna pay me. But that's the other thing, because we didn't talk about that. I don't know if that's one of your questions, but I used to do a lot of pro bono work. I used to do a lot of free stuff. I was wore out for doing free stuff. I was tired from doing free stuff. I was tired from doing stuff that I wasn't even getting paid to do. Beloved, I don't do that no more. The answer is no. I'm not available. You might be left on red. And here's the thing, it's no disrespect, because what I realize is that I was in a season of burying loved ones back to back to back, and I wasn't getting supported on some of these ends. So when people start seeing you, because they'll sit right and they'll sit and wait for you to post to see if you're okay. They'll see if you post something funny, then they say, "Oh, she okay now? I can dive in." No, you can't. No, you can't dive in and ask me for nothing. So I don't have a balance yet, but I am not stressed out and I'm not overwhelmed. Sometimes, like the other day, I said, I didn't even tell my husband. I went and got a couple's package for a massage or something. Like those things are important. You got to be intentional about doing those things for yourself. Self-care is so important. I have a therapist that I talk to once a week. Nobody can interrupt me during that time. If I need to talk to her a little bit more. But here's the thing. I open myself up when I want to be open. They be calling, worrying you to death. Every phone call, every email does not require a response. I'm still in a season of healing, right? I'm still in a season of building myself. So I don't let people worry me like that. Even in my house. Dogs can be barking. You're not gonna die. So there's what do y'all want me to do? Right? I don't cook every night. Maybe 2-3 times a week, because people put pressure on you as a person, as a woman, as a wife. Nobody pressures me in this house. If you don't see no food on the stove, you got to figure it out. But again, we've created a system in here. So I'm not necessarily stressed out, but I also don't have a balance yet either.
So you kind of went into what the next question was, which is some people often think that when you're the one doing all of the encouraging, when you're the one that's doing all the uplifting and the pouring and the motivating, that you yourself never get discouraged. How does that make you feel when you feel like you don't get the same back that you're pouring out?
It causes me to actually stop pouring. Because you got to teach people how to treat you. And for a long time, I just took it as, you've heard me make excuses for people. Oh, they just don't know. Oh, they don't know. Oh, no. Because what I know, if you want to know something, you'll find out. I had to learn that I have to fill the cup that I pour from. So ways that I fill my cup is doing those self-care things. I have a mentor. I have a therapist. I have a spiritual advisor. I have an educational advisor. The only thing I do not have is a business expert, a business advisor, but I'm getting it. So I have friends, right? Because pause. Let's have a conversation about that. People don't even know how to be a friend, right? When you get to a certain level or a certain age, should I say, when maturity started to kick in, you realize there's some things you can't talk to your mother about, or there's some things you can't talk to your husband about. You need friends, because listen, there's a laugh that you can get from your girlfriends. You know this. There's a laugh that you get from your girlfriends. You be like, you can't even get yourself together. Your stomach hurt. You rolling in the floor. But all of those things are necessary. That's filling me up. When I feel like there are times where I'm empty, sometimes I'll just, my love for music. Sometimes I'll get in the car and I might just put on the radio and I'll just ride to a playlist or something. As women, we have to know how to heal ourselves. As women, we have to know how to encourage ourselves, because there are going to be some days that nobody may not be able to do that, right? And that may even be okay. But what I would say is, you can't continue to give out, give out, and give out. When you feel yourself tired, that means you're tired. And pay attention to people's response when you tell them, listen, I'm wore out. Or pay attention to a person's response when they text you or call you or email you and you haven't responded immediately. And my thing be like, y'all forgot that I buried my grandmother in January. And notice I mentioned that a couple of times on this interview.
Yeah, already.
Buried my grandmother in January. What's wrong with you? Why do you think that I am available for you? The same list of people that I just named, you should invest in those things too, because I can't be there for you, right? So this is what they'll do, Jasmine. They want me to be there for you, but if you get a therapist, you got to pay your therapist. They want me to be there for them for free, and I'm not interested.
Yeah.
So for me, I have so many different people, and because of my relationship with God, sometime before I can even get to the second person, God will let me get to the first. Before I can get to the second person, God has already stood up in me. God has already done something. He has already encouraged. It's already all right. So the one thing I love about me is that I don't lay around long.
Yeah.
I don't stay in a space long. No, niece, you gotta get up. And this is what I be saying to myself. No, you gotta get up.
Mm-hmm.
So many days I wanted to stay under the cover. And I could hear my grandmother say, "Oh, granddaughter, come on, girl, what's wrong with you? I don't want the glory. You gotta get up, or you want to come here too." So it's those moments where it's like, if there's no other assurance that I have, is that I'm gonna be okay. Like, I'm good.
Yeah.
It might drop, might be a little, I might get a little, but I know for sure I'm gonna be okay. And I don't even think I'm gonna be okay just because of God. I'm gonna be okay because my tribe is like that. Like, my circle of people, I can depend on them. I can call you. I can call Keisha. I can call Ebony. I can call, even that, I can call my son. I've raised my son to be able to encourage me. You get, so it's like I'm not on an island by myself. I never in my life felt like I was on an island by myself.
That's good. What would you tell young Yukia now?
I would tell my younger self, I would probably just say, I got your back. Because oftentimes when I was younger, I didn't feel like I had that. I didn't feel like I had the protection. I didn't feel like I had the covering. Um, or I would tell the younger you kid, you not out here you're not alone. You're loved, right? Because when you go through them moments of low self-esteem and lack of confidence, till you start feeling like, I'm out here by myself. Why am I going through this? My father not here. These guys don't know how to treat you. My brother can't stay out of jail. He can't defend. So it's kind of that. It's. I would tell the younger you kid, you're not alone. I remember praying as a little girl, and I used to always say, and I think this is why my relationship with God is so unique. Because I remember being young saying, God, if you real, show me. Like, oh God, if you real, let me see. Oh God, if you real, show me an angel. All I remember, bless you.
Thank
All
you.
I remember was being in church and hearing about these things, but I wanted to really experience it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, now that I think, I'm like, what? Because a lot of things in my when I don't remember a lot. Trauma stops you from remembering. So a lot of stuff I don't, but I remember that prayer. I remember saying, God, let me see what you look like. Show me. Oh God, let me I remember asking them questions. And so now I'm like, man, now me and God, we pretty cool. Um, and it's like I know that he's there. There are moments when, you know, my life is being shaken up, but I still know that he's there. It's like, yeah, you in a tornado, but I'm in it with you. You in a tsunami, but I'm in it with you. And that always give me confidence that I'm gonna get out. So it's kind of hard to see me in a space just frazzled.
Yeah.
I've seen the worst. And the worst wasn't losing my loved ones. I've seen the worst. I know what the worst have felt like. I've been at the bottom a couple of times. So I know what it feel like when it's coming. I know what it feel like when you about to triumph and come up. I get all of that. I understand all of that.
Mm. I don't know where I want to go.
This flow, girl, I'm here.
Other than being a hustler and other than being a hustler, a go-getter, what is another thing? What is one thing that is still consistent with older Yukia and younger Yukia? What is one thing that has never changed?
Um, my loyalty and my love.
Mm.
If I love you, I love you. That's my character. That's my temperament. And it's only it's because at first it used to be either I mess with you or I don't. Right? It's I know how to be cordial, but for me, if you know that you have me as a friend, you don't got to worry about my conversation when you're not around. If you got me as a friend you don't have to. You what you got to understand is this: by the time I have told you what they said, I've already beat them up or I've
Mm.
already addressed them. By the time you get the information, it's too late. And a lot of times you don't even know because I don't even tell.
Mm-mm.
Don't even tell. Baby, let me tell you, so I be fighting for my life. Y'all don't even be knowing. Because if I love you, I'm carrying you here. I done, I'm my own living witness. Oh no, you not get ready. You not get ready to sit up here. I've always been like that. I've always been a comrade. I've always been the one who's willing to fight the person that they love. I did it with my mother as a little girl. The people would knock on the door, ask for something, and she would be afraid to tell them no, and they would see me come through the door. No, we don't have no bread. I mean, I used to be little like this. No, we don't have no bread. That's still me on stuff.
Yeah.
No, we don't have it to give you. I've had to correct. I mean, baby. I was at an event one time, and I don't know why this young lady thought that it was okay to me. I really want to think she was slow because how you don't know that me and this other young lady is best friends, baby? I was sitting at the table talking, and she kind of made a statement, and I knew that statement she was referencing my best friend. Baby, when I tell you she could never get another word out, I put that cup down and I cut my eyes and I looked over. I said, "Who you talking about?" She never even said a name. My discernment. I said, "Who you talking about?" Let me tell you, she couldn't. She ain't stand a chance. But that's still me.
Yeah.
That little you care and this 45-year-old you care today. You not you because here's the thing. This what I believe. This what the Bible says. What you make happen for others, God will make
What
happen for
make it
you.
happen for you?
So
Mm.
and I know for sure that there have been many conversations that was had that I wasn't present, but guess what? They laid into you some type of terrible. You will never sit with them again and try to talk about me. So that's the loyalty for me. Now, if we ain't friends, I don't think I had no loyalty to you.
Yeah.
But if we friends, you best believe somebody got read down because they tried to play with you in my presence. No, ma'am. Did that answer your question?
what is the biggest compliment that a person can give you?
The biggest compliment a person can give me is kind of similar to what I just said, is mentioning my name positively in a room that I haven't entered into. That is a big compliment for me, knowing that I wasn't there with you and you spoke well of me. Because here we go. If a person is asking you about me 9 times out of 10, you know enough information about me to give it to them. Because let me just say this. Let me set the stage by saying this. I ain't never been a bad person.
Yeah.
I've done things, but I ain't never been a rat. I ain't never been a gutter snipe rat type of. I ain't never been that. Right? I went through growing pains like everybody else. So the biggest compliment a person can give me is mention my name in a room that I haven't entered into yet, or create an opportunity for me by mentioning my name. An opportunity was mentioned, and you mentioned my name in that room. That's a compliment, because some people only speak well of you when you're around, and I don't need people
Mm.
like that. I don't
Yeah.
need what I. My discernment is always on, so I know who really love me, who really care for me. But for me, that's the biggest compliment that you can give to me, or saying to me, "I've watched your, I've watched your life. I've watched your children. I've watched your husband. I watched how you supported him."
Mhm.
Those things for me get me up. You can get anything out of me, baby, when you start talking about you watched my journey, and guess what? You were rooting for me, and you betted on me. You bet on that's a really big compliment for me.
Okay, I mean, you just keep going right into the next question.
That goes to show you we connected, girl.
Yeah,
It's
you
prophetic.
just keep going right into the next question. I promise you. So the next question is, I could switch it, but I'm gonna keep it because it rose. Your
Okay.
love story. Hey, Big Dave. Your love story has been years in the making, with a lot of ups, downs, highs, lows, twists, turns, and miracles that you have been very vocal and transparent about. What would you say to one that's looking at your relationship as couple goes?
Don't look at my relationship as couple goals. Look at my relationship as faith goals, because that is the only thing. Now you just call it on Deaconess Yukia. That's the only thing that did it for us. What people don't know, people might know this about me. I've always had a relationship with God. What people don't know, they didn't think my husband had a relationship with God. Okay? They didn't think he had a relationship with God. So there would be times that God himself would show us, and I said us, there would be times God himself would show us in a dream that he was coming home. The stuff that we doing now, we seen it in a dream, love. So again, let me address those who said I was crazy. I knew what I saw. I had nothing to prove to y'all in that process. It was proven when the doors was open and the news cameras was all in our faces. So no, I don't we don't want to be your couple goals. Y'all didn't even believe it for us. But we'll be your faith goals though. Our marriage is a testament to God. If you do nothing, Jasmine, you and your sister know, David.
Yeah.
If my relationship do nothing else for you, you better find a way to believe God. I don't. That's the only way I can put it. If you're struggling with believing God for anything, go back a couple of years and scroll through them timelines. Because I did. Here's the thing: I didn't have to post nothing. I didn't have to share no jail picture. I didn't have to tell you I was getting on the road. I didn't have to tell y'all. I could have kept it a secret like most girls do. There was no need for me to keep it a secret. You know why? Because wasn't nobody checking for me, and wasn't nobody coming to me in my face saying, "Are you sure? Is you sure?" We knew. I knew. My mother knew. Keisha knew. Ebony knew. We talked. We knew. We knew that what's happening now would happen. So that's why I don't understand what all the hype is about. I knew. And again, I always say they did not believe it was gonna happen. But then when he came home, they circled back around the bend in the inbox to say, "Can you help me?" But didn't y'all have a group text titled "She's Stupid"? Didn't y'all have a group thread titled "Ain't no MFing way she waiting for him, he got life"? Didn't y'all have a pretty picture of me in the thread saying, "Look at her, look how stupid she looked up there in the jail and he in khakis"? Yes, y'all did. What's the next question?
Girl, you are good and crazy. That's why I love you.
No,
But no, I remember you saying one time, a lot of things you say, I just take it and I keep it with me. But you said never allow people to make you a king or put you on a pedestal, because the moment that you start to act like them, they can knock you off of it.
and one day I might want to act like y'all. So guess what? When you see me return the favor and you see me match your energy, don't be calling up the church talking y'all license her. Don't be calling David talking about you marry her. Don't call nobody, because guess what? I never told y'all to put me in no position. I never told y'all to crown me queen. I always knew I was already that. I never asked y'all for nothing. But when I match energy, please don't be alarmed. Please. I am still the same person that you asked to pray for you. Once I go off, everything's still the same. I'm still the same. Two people. I'm Yukia, and then the person that matched your energy.
Okay, we're gonna get into parenting because you have a very successful son that is
Yes.
young. Um, in this time that we're growing up in, I mean that we are in and growing up. But I want you to describe your parenting style, because I know that you have an adult son that is doing really well for himself and a growing teen girl.
Ooh.
But I know that you also are the type that's like, I love my children, I love my wife, I mean, I love my husband,
Mm-hmm.
but that's not all that I've been put here to do.
Yes.
Guess what? I'm gonna be a mom, I'm gonna be a wife, but I'm also gonna separate that from my identity. So, how do you parent but still don't get consumed with the title of mom
Um.
and still have a successful outcome, because he's doing amazing.
Yeah. Well, Quentin should probably be online because I don't think he would mind me telling this story. But so my parenting style is, I believe I allow my children. With Zuri, it's a little different because she's a girl. I allowed Quentin to mature. First of all, I allowed him to be parented and raised with the support of his father. Every chance I get, I try to thank his father for that, because we had a lot of absent fathers, um, which is the result of a lot of young boys kind of going astray. And
Mm-hmm.
so for Quentin, he has a really good dad. So I was his mom. He had a stepmom. He had my mother. Quentin had a lot of parents around him. When it was time for other people to parent my son, I allowed them to. I didn't step in to try to save him. When Quentin made mistakes, I didn't jump in to try to save him, because I knew he was going to be a man. I was driving Quentin to school one
Mm-hmm.
time, and I think it was off of a summer break, and we were taking all of the stuff out of the car. I had rented a car, as a matter of fact. This was the same day I had the Ugly Swan Part 2, and I had to get back home, but I knew that my son had to get back to school. Mind you, I'm a single mother to Zuri at this time. Don't even know if I had a car. I think I had to rent a car for my event. It was a lot going on. I've been at my worst, but my kids were able to still be successful. We were unpacking the car, and after we got all the stuff out the car, I pulled off. And When I pulled off, I looked in the back seat. It was God that said, look in the back seat. I looked in the back seat and I was like, what is this? It was a bag that was left under the seat. And I opened up the bag. And when this story is going to tell you my parenting style. When I opened up the bag, it was like a baby bottle. And then it was a big old bottle, like an industrial bottle of promethazine with codeine. And I've been around a long time. I'm sharp. I'm street smart. I'm book smart. I'm church smart. It ain't a whole bunch of things you can pull over my head, right? So I said, I'm going to pull off and see if he recognizes gone. So I pulled off. Before I can get out of the school campus, he was calling. I said, oh, here we go. It's showtime. So he called, was like, hey, Mom left a bag and they come back. I'm like, nah, I don't see no bag. He like, yeah, come back. I know where I put it. When I pulled up, he was looking for the bag where he put the bag. I had already moved it. So while he's looking in the back seat, I pulled the bag from under the front seat. I'm like, oh, you looking for this? His eyes got big as $50. And I said, let me tell you something. You know, my favorite is I'm going to start off with, let me tell you something. So let me tell you something. Let me ask you something first. Are you drinking this or are you selling this? Now, I want y'all to sit on that. If a parent asks you, you don't even know what your answer should be because either way, you in trouble.
Yeah.
I said, are you drinking this or are you selling it? You at this Ivy League school. He starts stuttering. No. No, I ain't selling it as if taking it would have been better. He was like, no, I ain't selling it. I'm taking it to get my work done. I said, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something right now. I got a daughter at home. I'm not gonna keep taking these trips back and forth up the road. Your scholarship is paid for. You could have went to UDC. You didn't have to waste their money and you don't have to waste my time. But guess what I'm going to do for you? I'm going to do one even better. I'm going to give it back to you. Because if you want to be a dope fiend, you're going to be it on your own time. And pulled off and left him standing right there. He came home weeks later with two of his friends and said, man, let me tell y'all something. That was the last time that I took any sip of syrup again. My mother made me feel so small. That's my parenting style. I'm going to let you take whatever step you think you're going to take because guess who's going to look crazy? Here's the thing. This is what I like to tell people. My parents did whatever they want to do and whatever they did didn't have nothing to do with me. That was their choice. If they messed up along the way, I'm not about those were that was y'all sin. It wasn't mine. I got enough sin out my own I got to do with. So Quentin, you are at the age, if you are in college, you are at the age that you can make your own decision. And if you have decided that you are going to drink, distribute, sell, whatever, stay up all night, get high, put it in a pipe, I don't know. But if you decide this, you let me know because I won't come back up and down this road. We never had a problem again. We never had a problem again. The boy, 27, he makes more than me, and he finished school. He got a degree. We never had a problem. Because guess what? Y'all be involved. Y'all be so involved in them kids. Listen. Let them go walk into the wall, babe. Let me know when you need a Band-Aid. But you're not gonna stress me out because guess what else? I still had to raise Zori.
Yeah.
You're not gonna drive me. You're not gonna drive me insane. I don't care who got a mental illness. You are not gonna drive me insane. Guess what? But that's why I look so young for 45. Because I'm not letting nobody drag me down like that and be stressing me. I'm not letting nobody do. Y'all not gonna do that to me. No, sir. Listen, y'all who listening. I never had another problem out the boy again. He's 27.
So I know on one of your episodes you spoke about plastic surgery.
Mm-hmm. Let's get into it. Come on, girl. You want me to stand up?
And it was something that I think people speculated, but nobody really knew what it really was or whatever the case may be.
Well, what they speculate for? Let's be nosy. Let's say no.
Okay. Well.
Okay.
Okay. got on my professional hat. Okay, they were speculating. So it's a few questions around that.
Okay.
Would you do it again?
Okay.
Um, what do you say to someone that is thinking about doing it? What is the biggest thing? If you had one thing to share with someone that is thinking about doing it, what is it that you would say?
Um, the first question is you asked would I do it again?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I would do it again. But I really want to, if you don't mind, I really want to talk about my experience because
Okay.
not everybody had the same experience as I had. And before I talk about my experience, I want to talk to women. Women, we really have to stop. We're moving too fast. We doing too much. We moving so fast. We can't stop and eat a banana. We can't stop and eat an apple. I'm serious. We can't get a smoothie. We can't sit and drink water with lemon. Everything is so important except for taking care of ourselves. We got to get mammograms. We got to get, some of us got fibroids. We got to go and find out why we got headaches. We got migraines. We are not taking care. Y'all have to stop and me and Monty was talking about this. Take a multivitamin. A multivitamin
Mm-hmm.
is not going to kill you. Your body will not be any good when you turn 60, 65 if you're not taking care of it now. So I'm saying a
Mm-hmm.
couple of things. Stop letting people stress you out. Stop getting involved in stuff that don't concern you, and stop. Take a moment to drink a smoothie and take a multivitamin. Because guess what? That's my segue into my experience with my surgery. My body was at 100%. My primary care physician, when I told him what I wanted to do, he ran every test known to man and said to me, "You are in perfect shape. You're a perfect candidate." Had he said I wasn't, I would not have gone. That's the other thing. The doctor
Mm-hmm.
knows what's best for you. I was in perfect shape. When you go to a surgery center and you put your money down, they tell you what to do to prepare. They tell you what to take to prepare. Don't waste your money and don't kill yourself. If they tell you take 3 or 4 vitamins, you should take them.
Mm-hmm.
If they tell you stop doing a certain thing, stop doing a certain thing. I'll say this because a lot of people don't know this. My husband and I, um, we had gotten pregnant and I had a miscarriage. At the time, I didn't know I was pregnant. I knew I was miscarrying though. Right? Now that's a word all by itself. I'm gonna say it again. I didn't know I was pregnant, but I knew I was miscarrying. So what that means is that now we getting deep. What that means is that I wasn't used to receiving. I was used to losing. So
Mm.
I immediately felt the miscarriage. And we went through that together, right? But during this time, I had already had my appointment scheduled for my doctor. So when Jasmine, I might even called you when my doctor sent all my labs
You
back.
stop speaking to me. Go ahead. Come on.
When the doctor sent, oh, I sure did. Now I remember when the doctor sent all my labs back. The labs determined because you have to send the whole file, and the file said miscarried or something. So when the surgery center got that, they come back with, "Oh, we're sorry,
You
but
gotta
we
wait.
can't do surgery. You gotta wait 6 months." I went through the roof. Let me tell you, I went through the roof because in my mind, I prepared my body. Wait,
Mm.
pause. I did a year and a half worth of research.
Mm.
I
That's the
watched
biggest
a year
part.
and a half worth of YouTubes. I wanted to see the procedure. I wanted to see. I needed to know what are the supplies you get. What does each supply do? What is it for? How long do you got to be out? When can I go back to work? How do you sleep? Once I had already talked it over with my husband and my mother, there was nobody else that I needed to consult.
Mm.
So I did everything. So they said I had to wait. The blessing was I waited, but I also in my wait couldn't get the doctor that I initially wanted. So I ended up getting the doctor that did the surgery. And for those that want to know what surgery was, it was um, lipo 360 with a BBL. The reason why it's not an exaggerated BBL is because I asked for a very natural BBL. I've always wanted a little extra. And so I got the extra that I wanted. When I planned my surgery, because if your surgery is $7,000, then you need to be saving up $14,000. A lot of girls go wrong and they cut corners because you just want to pay for surgery. No, beloved, you have to have a coin. I saved my money. My husband gave me my deposit. I put the money down, and I didn't have to put any more money down until I went. So I paid all of my money at pre-op. I found a recovery house. I stayed in the recovery house for 5 days. It's recommended for 5 to 7. So I believe I stayed like 6. Um, I went to
Where they
Miami.
treated you so good.
They treated me so good. I had 2 nurses at a time. My experience was so amazing. And I'm not just saying that. This is not paid advertisement. My experience was so good. Those of you that don't know, I have a surgery page with over 7,500 girls in it. See, there's a whole bunch of other stuff I do that people just don't even know. These are girls that don't even know. They from everywhere, and all they want is to see your results, see how you look. How was the doctor? My doctor was double board certified, didn't have any deaths, right? My experience was so good, God, and that was also my prayer that God was with me the whole time. I didn't take nobody with me. My husband came to get me once it was over. It was and here's the reason why I was able to go alone, because I had met so many girls in my surgery groups. And that is what you do. You say, I'm looking for a surgery sister. What day is your surgery? Mine's October 12th. When is yours? Mine the 12th too. And you get a surgery sister and you do everything together. But what you all want to do is involve him, her, them, and they that don't want you to do nothing anyway. So for me, my experience was so good. I mean, what I want to do, I want to get eye fillers, and I want to do a little breast lift. Those are the things I want to do, and I want to do these things before I turn 50. But that's just because my bags is hereditary. But for me, white women been doing it for years. They've been paying for it for years. Shouldn't nobody make you feel any type of way? If you're in great health and you want to do it, do your research. Don't go where your friend went. Don't go where they
Mm-hmm.
y'all get on my nerves doing that, because that doctor was for her. That doctor may not be for you. There are some doctors who only do skinny BBLs. That's what I had. There are some doctors that do have BMIs. That's your body mass index for more heavy. There are some doctors that do something. You can't go. Every doctor is not for you. My pain level, when I got out, I was really, really cold. And I remember saying, nurse, I'm in pain. That was the only thing I could remember. She gave me something before I knew it. My nurse was there picking me up. She took good care of me. But that night I was able to walk, use the bathroom on my own. I was sore, but I wasn't like dragged down sore to the point where it was like there was no vomiting, there was no passing out. My iron was good. Everything was really good at home. Shout out to my father, rest in peace to him. He prepared all of my stuff at home. He prepared my BBL pillow. My BBL chair. He prepared my gravity. He did that. So I had support. And so if that's something that you want to do, you should definitely do that. But you should do your research and you should do your homework, and don't be fooling around. Because what is discouraging is when you want to do it and people are like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
people who, I'm a surgery godmother. I'm a furry godmother. When people come to me, I look at their lifestyle. Sometimes I've said, niece, no, no, no.
Well,
Because
why no?
one, you gotta be in a faja for weeks. You don't even have a face care regimen. No. You gotta be in a faja for weeks. You gotta use IO oil. You gotta use Derma for scars. All this stuff you gotta use. They don't even take the time to do it. They don't even take. So no. I look at how you eat. No, no, no. And I'm not talking about a certain, I'm talking about smaller women too. Now
Yeah.
you want too much, you ripping and running the street, and God knows you ain't gonna want to sit down for 6 weeks. The people tell you, you gotta lay on your stomach. You can't do it. Because here's the thing: surgery comes with obedience. A lot of them they don't be having it. Girl, next question, please. They don't be having it. I'm telling you, they don't. So, and I'm very honest. I'm honest in every section and every level of my life. You want to talk surgery? Let's talk. I ain't gonna put her in. I ain't gonna say her name. Somebody in my family had a surgery scheduled and was getting ready to skip on down until she went to the doctor, and they said, "Oh no, ma'am, your iron is 4 or 5." So you walk you. I was so mad. But just imagine if that wasn't one of those doctors that cared for patients, went on and did it. You lose. Here's the other thing. Let me back up. There's a thing called it's gonna come to me. It's called go ahead, Jasmine, but it's gonna come to me. I paid extra for Cell Saver. Cell Saver. Pay for Cell Saver. It's only an extra $500. If you're already paying $6,000 for a Cell Saver, cleanses your blood and give it back to you. But some girls lose blood. They done passed out in the floor. And wait, here's the other thing. This should have just been Let's Talk Surgery. Here's the other thing they do. They cut corners and say, oh, I'm not staying in no surgery home. I'm staying in a hotel. My boyfriend come to take care of me. My friend comes to, and I'm gonna tell you something. They be dying Your boyfriend is not a nurse. If he is not a CNA, your blood pressure can drop so low he don't know what to do. Same with your girlfriend. Now, if you have somebody that's a CNA, a RPN, and in the healthcare field that can read numbers, sure. But you can't just take a girlfriend down and tell her she could look after me. And then you scare other people because you come back and say, "Oh my God, I was about to die. Oh my God, worst experience. Oh my God, I don't like my results," because you did nothing right. We don't want to hear it. So this is what I said I wanted to do for women. We've heard the hard stories. Let me share a refreshing story that I had an amazing process. I bought what I was supposed to buy. Drunk what I was supposed to drink. I didn't forge no papers. Them girls be forging the doctor's papers just for a butt, just for a lift. I'm not doing that because I knew I wanted to get up off that table and come back to my family the same way I left, just with a plump a little behind. Now I wasn't doing that. You want to get surgery?
Me?
We talked about it. Yes.
I wanted to get my breast done before.
Is you scared?
I think I'm cheap. I think I'm cheap. So I know that.
Jasmine, you're not cheap because the way that you
I buy what I want, and I just don't.
Wait,
like I'm saying, I'm gonna get this.
You're not cheap. You scared. Not cheap. Okay.
I just cannot bring myself to spend the money.
But Jasmine, do you know how much it costs? Did you ask them?
No, I really just didn't even do the research.
Have you called? Have you followed up? You don't even know. It don't cost what it costs. We gonna talk. Listen, girls. I want the girls to have the life and the body that they deserve. Let me say that again.
Look at it.
I want the girls to have the life and the body that they deserve. And if you want a little hump and you want a little snip and tuck and lift and do that. Jasmine spent the breast money on Kennedy prom dress. Kennedy, after your prom, don't ask us for now because we going to get a breast lift niece here. Okay, this is it for you. Now, Swashi put a question in the chat. Can we talk about how your wardrobe didn't change to only spandex when you got it? Okay, bye. No, come back, sis. Because here's the thing, though. When I had my surgery, I didn't get my surgery for them. So this,
Yeah.
so guess what? All of this, it wasn't for them to see. No way. I got it. So when I walk past the mirror, I can smile and say, "Good, googly muggly, that thing is juicy." Guess what, y'all? And we doing this. I'm doing this interview sober. Listen, I knew that it was something I wanted to do, but I knew that I also wanted to be respectful and say, "I'm gonna talk to Walt when he get home." He was on board. A lot of times, people just don't be on. But when I said I want, he said, "What's the downtime?" And I had to have enough information and enough research to be able to say to him, "This is what it is. This what it's going to look like." And I had to be honest about that. But I think get the body that you love. Get what you want. I mean, that's what to pay for it. Invest in it, because a lot of times all you got to do is put a down payment down, and that saves your spots. You don't have to give no more money. The money is sitting there for a year or two. If you want it done, get it done. And when y'all see me outside, just keep on going. Don't even worry about it, right? Because here's the thing again, we talking about transparency. I wasn't going to the gym. I've never been a gym girl. There was no need for me to even live in the fantasy that I can get. No, I wasn't going to the gym. I didn't have that kind of time. Erica asked, "What was the downtime?" So Erica, of course, this was during COVID, so I didn't have to go into the office. Downtime for me, I would say I had a little bit of uncomfortability for about, let's say, 6 to 8 weeks, kind of, sort of. This is when, first of all, it's crucial for you to stay in a faja, for like 3 months. You just graduate to different stages. But sleeping on your back was a no, because you couldn't sleep on your bottom. The only way I was able to sleep on my back is because I had a gravity chair. My dad made me a gravity chair, which is nothing but a full body lawn chair that you cut out the middle so that so that your butt hangs out the chair. So I had that. I slept in that. After a while, that starts to hurt your back. It's even like, even flying home. Flying home from Miami was difficult. I had a BB pillow. It was uncomfortable to sit on that. So I oftentimes found myself on the flight, turned around, sitting on my knees, but my face in the chair. So it's just, you go through all of these things, because beauty really is pain. So I would say downtime, a little bit of pain, maybe 6 to 8 weeks. Then you kind of get in the flow of it. You get used to it. A lot of times people fall in love with the swelling. I tell girls, don't do that. Of course, you're going to be overly big because you're swollen. No, that's going to go down. Don't fall in love with that, because then weeks later you're going to say, "Oh my God, he ain't do it right. My butt not big." No, that's because you got to let your fat settle into your body. You fell in love with the body that you saw right off the table. When you was able to take a shower the next day, you looked in the mirror, spent around. That's not the body you're going to get. So over time, you see your bottom start to really form a little more. It's a point where they call it fluffing. They say you fluff after a couple of months. Sometimes you can fluff even after a year or so. But a lot of times, it takes research to know all this stuff. And I've only went for one round, but I can help a lot of people navigate through that process.
Okay, the girl's done.
I think so. I'm waiting to see what's in the chat. I think.
Okay. While we waiting, don't if you still want to double back to that, you can.
Absolutely.
But while we waiting, we're going to move along. Okay.
Put your comments in the chat. Someone said they can't comment, and I don't know why. I don't.
Sometimes it makes you create an account.
Oh, okay,
I
okay,
know in a couple, like the first episode when you first started, I had to create an account in order to log in. I think Tashi was the same way.
okay.
Um, what would you tell someone that's doing the work, but it seems like they're still not seeing the outcome or the result that they were expecting? How do you not get lost in the shuffle of feeling like maybe I'm not doing enough, this isn't what I'm supposed to be doing, or it might just be too late? So, negative self talk.
All of us have a thing. Some of us have thing with an S, right? I had this conversation with somebody the other day.
Mm,
You know how people come up and you've experienced this. You may have said it. A lot of people in the chat have said it. Sometimes you'll be in the season, you don't know if you're going or coming, and you don't know what you should be doing, or you don't know who you're going to become. Because it's a such thing as becoming. You ain't there yet. You're becoming. In the last 2.5 years or so, and it could be longer, I probably just can't remember. I have had so many people walk up to me and say to me, this is family, this is strangers, this is friends, these are cats, dogs, parrots, monkeys, have said to me, when are you going to run for office? That has never been a desire of mine.
mm-hmm,
But what it does verifies that, oh, you got that. If you want it, it's yours for the taking. If you want it, it's yours for the asking. With you, Jasmine, there's nothing wrong. Things are just not happening the way you would see them happening. You are, again, becoming. You're still becoming. We're always students every day.
mm-hmm,
Even with you knowing, having a wealth of knowledge that you have with style, you're still learning. You're always looking at, oh, I didn't know this. Oh, let me see. You're always doing other things. When you all go to Girls in Color, in Living Color, you're not just going because it's fun. You're also going for inspiration. You're also going to see, let me see. So you're not lost. You're not behind. You're you're in a season that you could be in a season that this season is for Kennedy, not for Jasmine.
mm-hmm,
This season is to get Kennedy out the door. So then Jasmine can save the coins because Kennedy gonna get a full scholarship. So Jasmine can save the coins and do all of this. Some of these seasons don't be for us. I told you I took the little boy down there and then I was fighting for my life. Get ready to do a second monologue, and he down there with some damn codeine. That was a bad season for me because I didn't see things happening for me, but I saw them happening for my child.
mm-hmm.
So you're not behind. You everything that you need, you have it. Your supports, all that other stuff, you have it. But negative talk. That's the Bible says that the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. There's nothing nice about that. There's no God in that anyway. And the moment that this is for anybody listening, the moment that you feel that stuff creeping up, the moment that you start feeling defeated, you got to go to Psalms 91. The moment that you start feeling like, oh, wait a minute, I don't know, I don't see nothing happening, but God, you know how many times people have been, how many times people have been in a space where they could not, they knew God, but they couldn't feel him? I would
Mm-hmm.
say, God, whatever you do, you don't got to bless me. You don't got to feed me. You don't have to give me another job. You don't even have to bless these kids of mine. But whatever you do, don't take your spirit from me. I ain't caring about nothing because I knew that if I could feel God's spirit, everything was going to be okay. That proved to me that God was still with me. That was the only thing I cared about. When I was in a life of sin, when I was just carrying on, all I wanted to know was, God, whatever you do, do not take your spirit from me. Because once that happened, now you're in trouble. You don't even feel, now it ain't that you don't feel him. You don't feel him because he ain't even there. Because it could be a thing where he's there, you don't feel him because he's sitting silent. Because guess what? While you're testing, the teacher is always silent.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times, that was my prayer. God, whatever you do, don't leave me out here by myself. That's the only reason why. That's the only reason why I'm on. Whatever you do, God, don't leave me out here by myself. I'll be homeless. I'll go through rape. I'll go through molestation. I'll go through public humiliation. I'll go through financial strain. I'll go through repossession. I'll go through all of that. But whatever you do, don't leave me out here by myself. But that's what makes me a boss.
Yeah.
It ain't no business. It ain't no degree. It ain't no nothing. What makes me a boss is because every single time my back was up against the wall, I said, God, if you ain't with me, then I'm not doing this. In a hotel room, if you ain't with me, I'm not doing this. Raising these kids in Bury Farm, if you're not with me, I'm not doing. If you're not going with me, I'm not going. And we can tussle right there. But see, people sometimes you get so bogged down that you forget that God has a job.
Mm-hmm.
God is a parent. God is not a deadbeat parent. And so, God, if you gonna leave me out here, then don't expect for me to do nothing. If you gonna leave me by myself, I'm not gonna try to get all these people on the right track and pour into these people. And you got me out here by myself, and I know you got me out by myself. Oh no. Mm-mm. God is not a mystery. God is not all you got to do is have a conversation. God knows that this life some of us can't do about ourselves. Now, some people are out there saying that they self-made. I am not self-made. I am not self-made. Everything that I have, everything that I will get, everything comes from God. That's why I went back to say, no, we should not be your couple goals. You don't know if I'm knocking him upside the head or he knocking me upside mine. It's not happening. Don't be my no. Nobody was my couple goals. Not Jay-Z and Beyonce, not Sierra. Nobody was my couple goals because you don't know what it took people to get there. Why would y'all want us to be your couple goals? And I had to drive through a storm in Kentucky 8 hours away to see that man. No, we shouldn't be your couple goals, baby. You if you was atheist, you should believe God now. We shouldn't be your goals. We appreciate it, but we shouldn't be your and listen, and I love to brag at that point because you are able to see God through me and my husband. Every star in the sky was aligned for him. Every single star in the sky was aligned for David Wilson. Everyone. So we wasn't no tussle over here, baby. We knew we was gonna be okay with jobs, money, work, entrepreneurship, marriage. We still learning every day, but every star was alive for him. Everyone.
Life is about seasons. What season would you say that you're currently in now? And what do you think is teaching you or doing within you?
I like to call this season the best of times and the worst of times. I said this before. I said this on last week when they asked me to do the prayer for families at church. And that is because I am still in a season of grief. And I am still in a season of healing, but I'm not in a place where I'm angry and or upset with God. I understand where my loved ones are, and I had the amazing opportunity to be with them during their transition. God saw enough in me. God trusted me to usher them into a place of final rest. Me and God are fine, right? But while all of these things are happening and they're leaving me, God is still opening up doors. You know, I'm still getting blessed. I'm still doing this work. My name is still being mentioned. People still love me. I'm creating relationships. So that is the season that I'm in now. And I'm not trying to rush out of that, because sometimes we get into these unknown spaces that we want to get out really, really fast
Mm-hmm.
because it doesn't feel good. But it may not feel good, but you have to just stay in it until you get used to being in it. Now, you don't have to stay in it. You stay in it as long as God wants you until you learn the lesson. But you got to learn how to maneuver while you're in that. Because listen, it can't rain forever. That's
Mm.
it can't eventually I don't I wish you all can feel it how I feel it. It can't rain forever. You're not gonna be alone forever. You're not gonna be broke forever. For women that can't give birth, you're not gonna be barren forever. If your child is locked up, it's not gonna be forever. And let me tell you another thing, because see, while we talking and we laughing and kikiing, y'all know I will kiki in a minute and I will still drop a scripture on you. I will still drop some Bible on you. Let me tell you this conversation me and God had. I said, God, David gotta come home. And I'm saying this not because I was with him at the time. I'm saying this because at the same time, I am advocating and fighting for a person who I care for and who I love. So God, listen to this. David can't do life. David can't have a life sentence because nobody in the Bible had a life sentence. I think that's when God just started unlocking doors. When I said that, if it ain't in the Bible, no, no, no. You all have to, again, the same way I said you got to stop and eat a banana, you got to stop and listen. You got to stop and,
Mm-hmm.
because in this season, y'all see what's hot. This season is, I don't even know
Mm-hmm.
what's going on. You all have to stop and see if you can hear, smell, or feel God somewhere, because you're going to need an answer. And when I said that to God, it was almost like God put it in me to say it back to him, because I wasn't smart enough to come up with that. I said, God, don't nobody know Bible got no life sentence. And surely you ain't gonna have me waiting for life. That ain't the life. I know it get hard, but every door gotta open.
Mm.
All the rain, the sun got to come out. I don't know what you believe, but I can only talk to you about what I believe. And y'all got to get up. You cannot stay. Y'all gets under them covers. You won't get up. And I know life is hard. You have to get up, sis. You have to get up. You have to wash yourself. You have to anoint yourself. You have to put on, that's Bible too. You have to get up and put your clothes on. Get yourself together. Everything gonna be all right in God's time. But if you trust God like I do, it can't get no worse than what it's already been. And I declare it will never be as worse as it's already been. That's what I believe in my heart. But if you look at this season is something else. I don't know. So I'm even careful at the advice I give to people in this season.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have some of the advice y'all want, you can't get it from me. You gotta go to the throne. Y'all
That part.
no, can't come to me, and I will tell you, baby, I don't have an answer for this. You have to get on your knees and you have to cry out, Abba, Father. That's a different type of a prayer. When you got to lay prostrate before God, not on your knees, sis. You got to lay flat. So make sure you covered. Make sure you got a tribe. Make sure you got some people around, because you're gonna need. And here's the thing: this is not to scare you, right? This is not to scare you. It's just to strengthen you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm muting you, but I'm waiting for the next.
I really like when you talk like this because I like every part of you. Like you could just do no wrong in my eyes. Right? I like every version of you, but I really like when you laugh, kiki, pop your stuff, but add the Bible in there because we've all been there. And I like to say that we may not be in the same boat, but we're in the same water.
Yeah.
Like it's nothing that nobody has been through that it's like you're the only one. We all have relatable stories some type of way. Some type
Mhm.
of way it all relates. And even when I just was like, okay, I want to get closer to God, I want to, it was those talks and the things that you said that helped me to really just believe, not even just in God, but believe in myself. So a lot of the questions were for people listening, but it was to pull, I mean, you always give that, but it was definitely to pull that out.
Mhm.
Um, Especially from people that was coming from my page, because I know the community that I've built and the things that we talk about is around confidence and self-esteem and forgiveness and just believing that it gets greater later.
Yeah.
Um, but
And it does. It's just a matter of, the look hard enough, you'll see the rainbow. See, what happens is you can be so stressed out and so bogged that you
mhm,
miss every single blessing. And I understand that also. I understand that life is so hard, but I always encourage women, grab you another sister that you know is stronger than you.
mhm,
You got to get out of that space of I don't need me and my husband was talking about that last night. This I don't need nobody. You gotta be
and no new friends.
you gotta be a fool.
The no new friends is ooh,
You
yeah.
gotta
The
be
no new friends is
a
something.
fool. You gotta be a fool. Sheena said, I'm just glad to know you're who you are every day of the week, no matter who's around. Cause listen,
Mhm,
integrity is not what you do around other people. It's what you do when nobody's looking. Yeah, the way I kiki with y'all, I'll kiki with myself in the room all by myself.
mhm.
And y'all know it. We will be having a good time. But if you push the right button, we're gonna still have a good time. But I done shifted over into something else, and now I'm trying to pull on heaven for somebody else. I really live my life like that. And that's now wait, we talked about balance. Now that's a balance I have together. I have it together because here's the thing: other people get confused with. Oh, I thought I just saw her play this, but now I see her doing this. If you're in a space of judging that, don't watch me doing either. Just
Mm.
don't watch me doing either because they both have power. They both have a message. And I never told you to look at me as your inspiration anyway. Especially if you're saying, "Oh, it's this and now it's that." Don't look at neither one of us. Don't look at no part of me, please.
Okay, let me say this because I know you like a book, girl. I think there is a misconception that Christians are Christians if they're not a doormat, or if they don't take up or defend for, or if they decide to take up or defend themselves. It's always, oh, but I thought she loved the Lord. Oh, I thought she was into church. What would you say to those people?
Go back and read your book. Go read the Bible. Because here's the thing: if you think like that, you haven't read any of it.
Hmm.
I I I have been saved for a long time. And I got some friends of all ages. They're pastors, they're apostles, they're bishops, they're ministers, they're elders, they're deaconess, they're deacons, they're lay members, they're nurses. The other thing people can always say about me, that girl didn't never put no pressure on me. When people want to laugh, if you can't laugh, if you can't sing a song, and guess what? The views and the opinions on my show are mine and mine only. So don't do whatever you want to do with whatever you doing. But I'm talking about me. It's always worked. My ministry is marketplace. I bless so many people just being authentic.
Mm-hmm.
And it shows in my life. Now, the Bible does say there's a way that seemeth right, but the end is destruction. Ain't no destruction going on over here. I've helped, I've saved, I've fed, I've supported. But guess what? I'm gonna listen to a little music over here and over here. I'm gonna do a little 1-2 step over here and over here because this what I know. With religion, y'all want to keep people in a box. Y'all want to keep people on a scale.
Mm-hmm.
I don't allow people to do that to me. I'm not in a box nor a circle. There's so much more to life, and there's so many more people that I want to reach. And me being that all the time, I might not reach them. If the church done already tainted somebody based off of how they was treating them, they ain't gonna listen. They looking for something else anyway. But here's the other thing. This is the new thing. I don't even want you to don't even try to address me because you simple. Don't even try to address me as, oh, she a Christian. No, I'm Yukia. Because now you getting into my business. And when you start doing that, that's when you think it's okay for you to be like, oh, she ain't this, she ain't that. I'm not none of that for you. I'm not none of that for you. And again, we've had some of them same people spin the bin. I thought I wasn't saved. Oh, you in trouble. You a shipwreck. It's all falling apart. It's all coming down. Now you don't no, go find somebody else. So for me, they ain't in the book. I'm in the book. I stay in the book. I haven't opened one Bible, but I know scripture. I know Bible. I know God. See, I know I'm not. This Christian lifestyle is not a lifestyle or facade that I'm trying to prove a point to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
In God. And when God tells me you've done too much, then guess what? I know to go have a seat. When God has said you doing too much, I know to go and have a seat. When God has said, girl, look, you ready to read them, and I'm telling you, no. I know to go have a seat. So God knows that I'm so much that God knows He the only one that sometimes can sit me down because they ain't in the book. That's what I'm saying. Get you a book, get you a beginner's Bible and read it. That's my advice. Get you a beginner's Bible and read it and see what it say. Because you should be looking to God. Please, please, please don't look at me. I married a man that had life. Don't look at me. Then you want to go all into that. Take me out of it. Get somebody else. Don't look at me.
After all you've been through, how do you remain soft and gracious?
Being a woman is the greatest gift that God has given me. So I'm in touch with femininity, and I understand that being feminine is a thing, right? Well, it's a smell, it's a look, it's a feel, it's a touch, it's a sway, it's a it's that. And so while life has always been hard, I learned how to be all of those things by my grandmother because I watched her work 3 and 4 jobs, walk back and forth from southeast to northwest to get to work, but she always remained. And I'm not, so to speak, soft spoken, right? I'm not a soft spoken woman because I feel like my voice is the thing that God gave me. But as it relates to how I handle matters and how I handle people, that has to be with grace. And it is also because I will say this, I always like to I always give Bishop his propers, but when I was in a space of, needing a father, needing to be taught, needing to be something, he was that. He would always say, daughter, ladies don't do that. Daughter, ladies don't respond that way. It was him that taught me that. It was, he said, he and Mother Staples said, we gonna show you how to walk through mud and come out clean. When they said that, I didn't know what that meant. I didn't understand all of that. What they knew was, with you being you, as sharp as you are, as smart as you are, oh, they coming after you. But let me show you how to walk through public humiliation and come out clean. How to walk through pregnancy, being single, in the front of the church, 6 months after you become a deaconess in training. Let me show you that. Let me show you how to not move your seat, and you know within your heart you are terribly embarrassed. Let me show you. So you get you get your grace from being broken. You get your grace from being anointed. And I will always offer other people grace because I know that God offered it to me. Individual people offered it to me. But I understand the feminine of the woman. I understand the femininity of a woman. It's a whole study. It's a whole thing. How you speak. There's a way to get what you want, right? There's a way to get respect. There's a way you walk into a room. There's a way, and I still need some work. There is a way you deal with another woman who's broken. There's a way you deal with another woman who feel like you're a threat to her. There's a way. And in dealing with that, that's where
Mm.
you learn all of that grace. Because let me say this to anybody listening or who will go back and listen. There is no need to be threatened by me. What I have, you can get. You can go to school. If you don't have money, take out the loans, run it up, do what I did. There's no need. The only thing you can't have that belongs to me is my children and my husband. Everything else is up for grabs. There's no need to be intimidated of any woman. I dress like this because I want to. I walk like that because I want to. I'm loved because people love me. I get invited because they want to see me in the room.
Mm.
I get called up because, but that's the thing. We got to come out of that. Like, there's no need. If you are not okay with something, I always say, fix it. You don't like your hair? Fix it. I got mine done. I'm going to fix it when I get off the thing. I just got it curled today. It has to be to my liking. Everything in your life should be to your liking. And if you don't like it, fix it. There's no need to keep sitting in the same space with the same complaint. I done told y'all, you still complain about the same thing. You haven't fixed it. Then I don't want to hear it the third time. First time, I'm going to sympathize. Second time, I'm going to empathize. Third time, I'm not listening because I don't want to hear it. No more. There's no need. And when you get into my presence, pull, whatever you see, pull it. Whatever you see, pull from me because that's why I'm here. You know, people would want to have silenced me. I wish you be quiet. I wish you do this. I wish you do that. No, now I qualify to say a lot of stuff. So if you sit in my presence and you get an opportunity to get whatever you need to get, because that's
Mm.
that girl. I'm a girl's girl. So
Mm-hmm.
somebody's gonna come into my space broken and you gonna leave broken.
Mm-mm.
It has never happened because I know that I have a healing power. I know that I have a power to encourage. I know that I have a power to shift a room. No, I know I'm a trailblazer. I know if you don't have an idea, I'm gonna give you one. No, but you're not coming. That's male or female. You're not coming into my presence broken and you leaving broken. Nah, then I haven't done my job as a Christian woman. Mm-mm.
Yes, I always say, when you get around me, you're gonna leave either with some motivation, encouragement, some confidence, some
Yes,
key keys, but it's gonna be something powerful.
yes.
Um, what is something that you want people to know that many people may not know?
That's a broad statement. Um, Break that down for me. Because I mean, something
Something
exciting.
about you that it could be a fun fact, it could be a misconception, just something that people may not know about Yukia, and that your social media or the little bit of access that people may have that they just don't know.
Let's come back to that one.
Okay. Oh, you need to think, sis.
Because it's
Or do you feel like it's nothing? Do you feel like people know everything they need to know? Is nothing left to
um
know? You've put it all out there. I mean, as far as like your personality, who you are, your core values, what you stand for, I feel like you touch on that a lot.
Yeah, we can come back. Let me think. I mean, because there's, I mean, all. Yeah, we can come back to that because there are some things that I've experienced. There's some negative things that I have experienced that people don't know. Um, then there's some positive things that people don't know. I will say this: incarceration is a I don't know why I'm losing my words. It's a universal language. Incarceration is a universal language. Everybody has heard it and everyone has some experience with incarceration, right? Not only did I believe, because it's your belief system. Before God released my husband, I was praying for other people's family members to come home and they were coming home. And we just talked about grace. And I gracefully went through it and I gracefully said, congratulations. I was never upset that it wasn't my turn. I knew that it was going to eventually be my turn. Um, what people, okay, here we go. What people don't know about me is that I was told years ago, I was prophesied to years ago that I would have a ministry that was so powerful. And when I heard it, I didn't necessarily think church or inside the church walls, but I would have a ministry that was so powerful. But God was going to use me. He was going to put me in rooms with millionaires, specifically men who struggled with a variety of things. They would be single, they would be married, they would be divorced. In anything that I've started to see this, in anything that I advised them to do, they did it, took it, and was successful at it. This is something I don't talk about often and in the open because people have small thinking. I've always been an attractive girl. But but people haven't always allowed me into the room. Even at my lowest, people were intimidated that I wanted something that they had, and that was never the case. I just always knew that my energy has always been drawn to people who needed help, broken people who needed help. So I would never want to get on the platform and say, yeah, a lot of powerful men need me. It's a way you say it, right? You know, I said I'm familiar with femininity. I couldn't just come off by saying, my husband knows this. He sees this, that he'll be on the phone with somebody and they'll say, man, I need to talk to your wife because she know. But for a long time, for years, I have encouraged some of the greatest men that you all see. And there was nothing else. It was the encouragement. It was me saying to them, no, you should do, but there has always been correction too. That's another thing that God has given me that I've never been afraid to do. Even in the powerful seat that you're in, at a young age, I would say to people, oh no, you wrong. And they would kind of give me like a look like, girl, the truth is that you're free. Why are we around people and we are afraid to confront or correct? You're not coming in as a boss saying, being bossy about it. You're basically saying, I'm helping you. This is for your good. So if I'm in because I don't want the blood on my hands if you don't get to the level you're supposed to get to. I'm just a messenger. But it's hard for single women Sometimes it's hard for attractive women. Sometimes it's even hard for married women to be able to say, because everybody have a gift. And I never wanted people to know that that was a gift that I have, because it's like, no, we don't need her. No, she don't need to come in here. She young, she's single, she whatever. And I'm just thinking, God uses who he want to use.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of just put a lid over that. And if I do it, it's in secret. But I've sat with some of, I mean, Jasmine, man, you have talked about this in private. I've sat with some of your greatest men and women and have been asked, what do you think about this? And I've always given my unbiased opinion about a matter. Young, broken, didn't know if I was going or coming, but I knew that the word that I had in my belly was rich. I knew that the advice I was given was rich. So that's something that right now along the lines I can kind of say a lot of people don't know. I'm highly gifted. But in order for me to be highly gifted, right? In order for me to be highly anointed, imagine how much I was broken.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine how many times I was broken. You oftentimes hear me say, I don't care who leave. I don't care who. I saw my father one day on Pennsylvania Avenue when I was at a
Right now, everywhere. Mm-hmm.
I saw him, spotted him from a mile away. And I said, I seen him walking down the street. And I was like, hey, Dad. Mind you, I'm grown. I'm kind of in my 20s by this time, late 20s, early 30s. Hey, Dad. He looked back, so it was me, and ran down the street. I'll forever tell that story. Because listen, there's nothing that I cannot overcome. If you're going to leave, make sure you take everything.
Mm.
When you leave, make sure you take everything. My biological father, and he did not run. Here we go. Listen to this. He didn't run because of something I did. He ran because of what he did. Not
Mm-hmm.
even him. He knew the anointing that was on my life. He could not face me. He wasn't man enough and sober enough to face me. So I sit today as a 45-year-old woman, be 46 December the 1st. I know who I am. We will never have to go back and forth about me being uncertain about my confidence, my spirituality, my self-esteem, my ideas, my decisions. We will never do that, because those are the things that I did while being homeless. I had to go through self-discovery in a hotel room. Son was over here, Zuri wasn't even born. So I'm clear on all of that. So when I walk into a room, I'm supposed to be there. When I walk into a room, it's supposed to get bigger when I walk into the room. Not because I said so, because God said so. When I walk into the room, people are supposed to gravitate to me. When I walk into a room, if you were looking to the left, you should look to the right. That's an energy that I have, but that's also an energy that I almost died for. That's an anointing that almost killed me. So there's no need to be trying to figure out who is she and why is she. If you want to get into the room, take me with you. You want, and that's for real. If you want a thing to happen, take me with you. But wait, we talked about you gonna pay me. I ain't going for free. But go ahead, Jasmine.
What's next?
Um, so being in a doctoral program, it does take up a lot of your time, right? It takes a lot of study, it takes a lot of reading, it takes a lot of research. This is the
Mm-hmm.
desire that I have. I have a desire to be a professional traveler. I want to be a
Mm.
professional traveler, but I also want to expand the Fairway Agency. The Fairway Agency, what we offer is so big, but we aren't seen. No, we aren't as big as we should be, and that's just because I haven't taken a back seat at it. I've just been busy, doing my own things and
Mm-hmm.
my own loved ones. But I would like to spend some time The Fairway Agency doesn't need to be developed. It's already developed. Um, it doesn't even need to be tweaking. It just needs funding and financing. So what's next is making sure that the federal agency and those who need the services gets their just due. And I'm gonna spend some time on that. It's just I'm gonna work on a team and get a team of people that's gonna help me because we're in bad shape. And it's not even just our city. The federal agency is not just for DC.
Mm-hmm.
It's for the world. So because I'm learning it's only one way to eat an elephant, I don't want to
Mm.
take on but so much because I'm always taking on all of these new projects. The only way to eat an elephant is one bite at a time. So that's what I'm my focus is this doctoral degree and my focus is expanding the Fitway agency.
Tasha, you said and doing things. Yes, we can't forget about that. You
Yes.
gave Sage a bike. um, I think that's all I got. I do want to. How you feeling? How you feeling right now?
I feel good. I feel like I feel like I feel like I've poured out a lot. I do feel like there was somebody listening who got what they came for. Like
Okay.
whether it was the laugh, whether it was the scripture, whether it was the encouragement. Because this is why I do it. I don't I
Mm-hmm.
don't I don't plan to get on a podcast every Friday just to because I don't have nothing to do. I
Mm-hmm.
because I want to be a blessing to somebody. And so that's why I'm like, y'all don't have to hear from me. If I bring somebody to you, they're gonna be a blessing. You get what I'm saying? So for me, it's always good for me to talk and share my own story because I don't want nobody to have no misconceptions, although they will have them anyway. But I want you to know and I'm an open book. If you want to know, ask me. If it's not time for me to share, then I'll say it's not time yet. But there's not see, everybody has some dirty laundry. Pour it out. Because at the end of the day, I am redeemed. God is not bringing that stuff up back to me in my sleep. Oh, you remember you did it. God isn't doing that to me. I'm able to live free because I've taken my life. I've made myself better. I've cleaned up a mess. I've cleaned up my mess. I cleaned up a mess that wasn't mine, a bunch of messes that weren't mine. I've built other people's gardens. I've built other people's homes. And now it's my time to do that for me. But I am available. I know that God called me to the world. I know that God called me to a number of people. It's just that now I'm not free. Like, and I don't know, for $2 a minute, that's the cheapest that you're going to ever get anybody. And I'm just as good as your therapist. I'm just as good as your psychiatrist and your psychotherapist.
So I
So
seen that you added this new service. Can you
yeah,
elaborate on that and what does it entail and the details in case it's somebody that don't know that came from my page or from a share
mhm,
repost and just like who is
yeah.
this girl? What does she got to offer?
So it's a listening service. It's my listening service, and I named it that because not everybody needs you to talk to them. Some people just need somebody who will listen.
Mm-hmm.
But not only do they need somebody who will listen, they need to be able to they have to be these things have to go into a safe space, right? And I'm a safe place. I hold secrets. I've shared people's secrets. I'm a secret keeper. That is my name, right? I'm a secret keeper. And so because of that, I said, let me create something that works for both of us, right? I get DMs, I get phone calls, I get text messages, I get emails on all platforms. I'm struggling. I'm suicidal. And this is no judgment. Can you help me? I don't know what to do. He's trying to leave me. She's trying to leave. There are guys who saying, man, I need to get on your book. Sure, if you pay for it. And people are paying. People are signing up. Because if you can't get through life and you need somebody to talk to and you don't have anybody to talk, do you know where you can end up? You just need, and see, here's the thing. It's a listening service, but I'm gonna talk back to you.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're coming for something. And I also understand that, again, we talking about being qualified. I'm qualified to have these conversations, and I need to utilize. I got 3 degrees. Why wouldn't I use them?
Yeah.
Nobody goes to school for nothing. And not only that, Jasmine, if I didn't have these degrees, I have all these scars and all these war wounds. I've learned the lesson.
Mm.
I went through the book. I've lived through hard knock life. So why wouldn't I help somebody? Why wouldn't you come to me? But you would rather vent to somebody that's going to tell you, girl, you so stupid. Or you rather vent to somebody that when you finish venting to them, they're going to tell the next person that you stupid.
Between me and you.
So
Between me and you, you know, she said.
everybody got $50. Listen, a 30-minute phone call can change your life and save your life because I'm that girl. A 30-minute call with me can change your life and save your life because I am that girl.
Mm.
You can end on that.
Y'all heard her.
I am that girl. I got the scars to prove it. I got the story to prove it. And I got people who saw it that can back it up. I've been vetted. I've been vetted by God. I've been vetted by no, I'm good. My word is good, and my life speaks volumes. It speaks for me. And I ain't talking about all that good stuff. Even y'all saw the bad stuff too. Come on, y'all. Y'all saw it? Fighting for my life. But we're not fighting now. We're not fighting now. No, and guess what? Nobody connected to me is fighting because they're connected to me. Might have a bad moment, bad hour, but they not fighting for their life. And if they are something, they done conjured up and created. Ain't nobody connected to me got going, it's that bad. They done conjured it up. Jasmine, they will find it, it's not that bad. No, it's not. Erica, let me put up here what Erica said. Erica Caraway, she must come from your page.
I'm so glad I was able to enjoy it. Yeah.
I'm so glad you made it to Erica. Erica, make sure. Oh, you are subscribed. You know what? I saw you. You subscribed earlier. I got the notification. I want to thank all of you for coming.
Thank you, Erica.
Because I
You
definitely
know her.
I do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I gotta talk to Erica so I can get to know her a little more. I'm so glad that you all came out. It's so much better when people come and show up because then that means I'm not talking to a screen. You know, I agreed to do this. I want to be consistent at it every Thursday. Sometimes I might miss a Thursday, but for the most part, you'll see me here. Don't know who I'll bring. Like I said, I'm gonna start taking you all on journeys with me, but I'm always grateful when you spend, an hour, 2 hours with me, because I think 2 hours is good. You need at least 2 hours to get it all out. So I'm thankful, and I'm thankful that my little sister and my friend Jasmine was able to take off work because she worked so much. Because Kennedy's prom is $1 million plus. I'm so glad that she was able to take off. And Jasmine, to you, I also want to give you your flowers. You have raised a remarkable, baby. Let me tell you something. Kennedy is giving the girls a run for their money. And that comes from what you put in her. She got a little Leslie. She got some Thelma. She got some Jasmine. She got some she got a baby. Let me tell you something. The world is not ready. So you should take a drink tonight because you have done well. And I'm excited to see who Miss Sage is becoming. Because, baby, the world not ready for her either. So anytime you want to come on host, anytime you want to come on and talk about something, My show is your show. Just let me know. If you don't want me to be a